and all these hoes is mad. It's time for hoes to gag. Now let's talk about this hating ass bitch, ungrateful ass bitch. I don't care.
No one saw this coming. At least, not like this. Cardi B has officially set the internet on fire with her latest album drop, and one track in particular, titled Magnet, is pulling in all the attention. Why? Because in this song, Cardi B takes direct aim at none other than JT from the City Girls. That's right, folks. The drama we thought had cooled down between these two rap stars has now been reignited in the most explosive way possible. And let me tell you, the things Cardi B said in this track are not for the faint of heart. She didn't just throw shade, she went for the jugular. But wait until you hear what an insider revealed about why Cardi decided to go public with this diss. JT's Magnet isn't just another track. It's a statement, a bold declaration that she is done holding her tongue when it comes to people she feels betrayed by. In the lyrics, Cardi accuses JT of being a fake friend, not only to her, but to Young Miami, and even Lil Uzi Vert. She paints a picture of JT as someone who switches sides when it benefits her, someone who isn't loyal to the people closest to her. And the way Cardi frames it? It's not just messy, it's devastating. She claims JT would lay down with any man just to secure a check. That's not just shade, that's a full-blown accusation, and fans are reeling from the intensity. What makes this even more shocking is the timing. Cardi is in the middle of her biggest album rollout since Invasion of Privacy, and she's choosing now, at the peak of attention, to address her longtime issues with JT. This wasn't a slip of the tongue or an offhand remark. This was a calculated decision to put JT's name in her music forever. And if that wasn't enough, fans online are now dragging Offset, Cardi's estranged husband, into the mix, saying maybe JT was the one who got on the bed with him. That speculation is wild, but the fact it's even being mentioned shows how deep this cut runs. Now, you might be wondering, why JT? Why now? Well, insiders close to Cardi say she has been sitting on this for a while. According to one source, Cardi has always felt JT pretends to be cool with her in public, but then throws shade behind her back, even aligning herself with Nicki Minaj during their feud. And for Cardi, loyalty is everything. Once she feels someone cross the line, there's no going back. This track was her way of exposing what she claims has been fake energy for years. But it doesn't stop there. Fans are already dissecting every lyric, every bar, and they're finding hidden references to moments when JT allegedly sided against Cardi in subtle ways. Some say it's about old Twitter beefs, others point to backstage drama during award shows. Cardi, as always, knows how to put her personal story into music. And this time she made sure JT's name would be attached to the fallout. Meanwhile, JT hasn't directly responded yet, but her silence is only fueling the fire. Fans are flooding her social media with comments, tagging her under every Cardi B post, asking for her side of the story. And you know how it goes. When silence meets accusation, the public will assume the worst. The City Girls have already been facing tension in their careers, and now this Cardi B diss could put an even bigger strain on their brand. Young Miami, on the other hand, finds herself caught in the middle. Cardi's diss paints JT as a fake friend to her as well, and fans are already speculating that this could create a wedge between the two City Girls members. Miami has always had a strong friendship with Cardi, and many are watching closely to see whether she will stand with her rap partner JT, or with Cardi, who just elevated the drama to a whole new level. But here's the real kicker. What Cardi B did with this diss track isn't just personal, it's strategic. She knows the rap game thrives on controversy. She knows fans love drama, and this gives her album the extra spark to dominate the charts. It's the same playbook we've seen with Drake, Nicki, and even Megan Thee Stallion. When you mix real beef with music, people pay attention. And Cardi? She's a master at controlling the narrative. Of course, not everyone is cheering her on. Some fans are criticizing Cardi for dragging another female rapper down, saying she should focus on her own music instead of creating division. But others argue this is what hip-hop is about: real talk, real feelings, and putting it all in the bars. For Cardi, this wasn't just about JT. It was about reclaiming her voice and making sure people know she won't let anyone disrespect her, especially not someone she once considered a peer. And let's not forget the Offset angle. The fact that fans are even suggesting JT might have been with Cardi's estranged husband adds gasoline to this already burning fire. Was that part of Cardi's message in the song? Did she know fans would make that connection? Or is this all speculation gone wild? Whatever the case, the streets are talking, the blogs are buzzing, and JT's name is at the center of it all. Now, let's take a step back and rewind the timeline. Because this beef between Cardi B and JT didn't just appear out of thin air. Their history is layered, complicated, and full of small moments that, when pieced together, make this diss track feel like the climax of a long simmering feud. Fans remember back in 2020, when the City Girls were asked in an interview if they would ever collaborate with Cardi. The answer was lukewarm at best, with JT sounding less than enthusiastic. That little moment planted a seed in the fan base. Could there be hidden tension? Was JT quietly throwing shade? Fast forward to 2021 when Cardi and JT had that infamous Twitter exchange. It started with subtweets, but before long, the two were trading direct insults, with JT even pulling up screenshots of Cardi's old tweets. While the two publicly claimed to squash the beef, fans were never convinced. And now, with Magnet hitting streaming services, Cardi has essentially confirmed what everyone suspected. There was never really peace between them. In this new track, Cardi doesn't just call JT fake, she ties her directly to betrayal. The line about being a fake friend to Young Miami hit especially hard, because Miami has been one of Cardi's biggest allies in the industry. Remember? Miami was the one who appeared in Cardi's Instagram Live during her battles with trolls, showing her love and support. So for Cardi to imply that JT was never truly loyal to Miami, that's a knife to the heart of the City Girls brand. And then there's Lil Uzi Vert, JT's longtime on and off partner. Cardi throws in a jab suggesting JT has used her relationship with Uzi to keep herself relevant, but isn't truly solid in that connection either. For Cardi, this was about exposing every angle of JT's image, her career, her friendships, and her love life. And that's why fans are saying this diss isn't just shade, it's character assassination. Of course, in hip-hop, these kinds of feuds can make or break careers. For some, beef leads to bigger fame. For others, it's the beginning of the downfall. Right now, JT is walking a tightrope. If she responds with her own diss track, the feud could escalate into a full-blown rap war. But if she stays silent, fans might interpret that as weakness or even confirmation. Either way, JT is in a dangerous position and Cardi knows it. Social media has been flooded with reactions. One fan tweeted, "Cardi didn't have to do JT like that, this is surgical." Another wrote, "JT's career is hanging on by a thread and Cardi just cut the last string." And then there are the Offset theories. Threads upon threads speculating about whether JT had a secret fling with Cardi's estranged husband. Some fans say it's just a reach, others swear the lyrics were hinting at it. Regardless, the speculation is fueling the drama, and once the internet takes hold of a rumor, it spreads like wildfire. Meanwhile, Cardi seems unfazed by the chaos she's created. In fact, she's leaning into it. On her Instagram stories, she posted a cryptic message. "When you keep it real, you don't gotta explain yourself." Fans took this as her way of doubling down, basically saying she said what she said and she meant it. That confidence is why Cardi thrives in these moments. She knows how to stir the pot, but also how to walk away without seeming pressed. On the flip side, JT has been suspiciously quiet. Normally, she's quick to clap back, whether on Twitter or Instagram Live. But this time, nothing. Some fans think she's plotting her response in the studio, while others believe she's been advised to keep quiet to avoid giving Cardi more publicity. Either way, the silence is deafening, and it's giving Cardi the upper hand in the court of public opinion. Now, let's not forget the bigger picture. This isn't just about Cardi and JT. This is about how female rap is constantly under a microscope. Fans, blogs, and even other rappers love to pit women against each other, and every feud becomes larger than life. Cardi knows this. JT knows this. And yet, here we are, watching another public fallout play out in real time. The question is, Will this end in another fake truce? Or are we about to witness one of the biggest female rap beefs of the decade? And here's where things get really interesting. Behind the scenes, industry insiders are saying this might not just be a Cardi versus JT issue. It could be a strategic move to shift power in the female rap game. With Nicki Minaj, Megan Thee Stallion, and Doja Cat all dominating headlines, Cardi may have seen an opportunity to put herself back at the center of conversation. And what better way to do that than by igniting a firestorm with one of the city girls, a group already facing internal tension? This isn't just personal, it's business. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the Offset connection. The moment Cardi dropped that bar about JT being willing to lay down with any man for a check, the internet immediately went into overdrive. And guess whose name started trending? Offset. Fans began asking the question nobody wanted to say out loud. Was Cardi hinting that JT had some kind of secret connection with her estranged husband? On X, formerly Twitter, one user posted, "This bar screams Offset. Ain't no way Cardi just threw that out randomly." Another chimed in, "If JT really messed around with Offset, that's the ultimate betrayal. No wonder Cardi is going this hard." Within hours, Offset and JT were trending together, fueling one of the wildest rumors of 2025 so far. Now, to be clear, there's no solid proof of this. Neither Offset nor JT has acknowledged these rumors publicly. But in the world of celebrity drama, perception often matters more than facts. And Cardi knows her fan base well. By dropping just enough shade to get people speculating, she keeps her name buzzing and her enemies on the defensive. It's a masterclass in how to control the narrative. But here's where things get even more layered. Remember, Cardi is in a new relationship now with NFL star Stefon Diggs, and the two are even expecting a child together. That makes this Offset connection even messier. For Cardi, bringing up JT's alleged disloyalty could serve two purposes. One, to expose her rival, and two, to finally close the chapter on her marriage to Offset by reminding the world why she left him in the first place. In other words, this wasn't just a diss, it was a statement. Meanwhile, JT is in a delicate position. Her relationship with Lil Uzi Vert has always been in the public eye, with breakups, makeups, and social media drama fueling headlines. So now, to be linked, at least in rumors, to Offset, adds another messy layer to her public image. Fans are already questioning her loyalty to Young Miami, and now, her loyalty to Uzi is under the microscope too. This is exactly the type of storm that can derail an artist if they don't handle it carefully. But let's not forget, the fans are eating this up. Conspiracy theories are spreading like wildfire. Some are digging up old photos of JT at parties. Others are analyzing lyrics from previous songs, trying to find hidden connections. It's almost like the internet has turned this drama into a group investigation. And whether it's true or not, JT's silence is only adding fuel to the fire. And here's the kicker. Cardi doesn't even need to say another word. She already lit the match, and the fans are keeping the fire burning. Every blog, every gossip site, every reaction YouTube channel is dissecting magnet bar by bar, meme by meme. For Cardi, this is free promo for her new album. For JT, this is unwanted attention that could overshadow her own career moves. But what about the bigger rap landscape? Right now, female rap is more competitive than ever. Nicki Minaj is still commanding her fan base. Megan Thee Stallion just staged a huge comeback, and Doja Cat continues to dominate the charts. Cardi knows she has to fight for space in this crowded arena. By taking shots at JT, she's not just settling a personal score, she's reminding the industry that she's still fearless, still controversial, and still capable of shaking up the game with a single verse. This also raises questions about the city girl's future. With Miami and JT already rumored to be on shaky ground, could this diss push them further apart? Fans noticed that Young Miami didn't immediately jump to JT's defense on social media. That silence spoke volumes. If Miami sides with Cardi, or even just stays neutral, that could be the beginning of the end for the City Girls as a duo. And if that happens, Cardi's diss won't just have destroyed a friendship, it could dismantle an entire brand. And here's something no one is talking about yet. What if JT does respond? Imagine a world where she drops her own diss track, firing back not just at Cardi, but maybe even dragging Stefon Diggs, Offset, or even Young Miami into the mess. That could escalate this feud into something we haven't seen in years, a full-blown rap war between camps, fan bases, and maybe even record labels. It's the kind of chaos that both terrifies and excites the industry. So, as it stands, we have Cardi B with the upper hand, JT under pressure, Offset's name being dragged into the conversation, and the entire female rap world holding its breath to see what happens next. But trust me, this is only the beginning. Because behind the music, behind the shade, there's a much deeper battle being fought, a battle for legacy, loyalty, and survival in one of the most cutthroat games in entertainment. When you peel back the layers of this drama, one thing becomes crystal clear. Cardi B isn't moving recklessly. Every single move she makes, every lyric she pens, feels intentional. Magnet isn't just a song. It's a calculated strategy. And if we're being real, Cardi thrives on these moments. She's built her career not only on music, but on her ability to dominate conversations, whether it's through viral rants, shocking fashion statements, or explosive feuds. This diss against JT fits perfectly into that pattern. But here's where things get interesting. Cardi isn't just going after JT as an individual. She's going after what JT represents. Think about it. JT has long been seen as one of the street-credible voices of female rap, someone who brings raw authenticity to the table. By painting JT as fake, as someone who betrays friends and lies down with men for checks, Cardi isn't just questioning her character, she's questioning her entire brand. And in the rap world, once your authenticity is in doubt, it's almost impossible to come back. Meanwhile, JT's silence is speaking volumes. Fans are split. Some say she's playing it smart, refusing to give Cardi the satisfaction of a response. Others argue her silence looks like an admission of guilt. After all, in hip-hop, silence often equals weakness. So, the longer JT waits, the more control Cardi has over the narrative. But what's fascinating here is how this beef isn't happening in a vacuum. Female rap beefs have a long, messy history. Lil' Kim versus Nicki Minaj, Remy Ma versus Nicki, Cardi versus Nicki. Each time, it shakes the culture, pulls fans into different camps, and often becomes bigger than the music itself. What we're witnessing right now is another chapter in that story, and the stakes couldn't be higher. See, when male rappers beef, it's often dismissed as just rap. Diss tracks come and go, and the culture moves on. But when women in rap clash, it turns into a spectacle. People scrutinize every word, every Instagram comment, every friendship shift. Fans start treating it like a reality TV show rather than music. That double standard weighs heavy, but Cardi knows how to use it to her advantage. And let's not forget the business side of things. Cardi's album rollout is perfectly timed with this controversy. She knows controversy sells. Streams go up, blogs can't stop writing, and reaction videos flood YouTube. Whether you love Cardi or hate her, you're talking about her. And in today's industry, attention is currency. This feud is essentially free marketing, and Cardi's cashing in. But here's where the plot thickens. JT isn't powerless. If she chooses to clap back, she could flip this entire situation. We've seen it before. Remy Ma's Shether against Nicki Minaj shocked the world. One track can change the power dynamics overnight, and JT has the lyrical chops to deliver that kind of blow. The question is, will she risk it, or will she allow Cardi to dominate uncontested? Meanwhile, Young Miami's role in this drama is becoming increasingly important. Fans are watching closely to see where her loyalty lies. If she sides with Cardi, JT could find herself isolated, not just in the industry, but in her own circle. That could spell disaster for the City Girls brand, which has already been showing cracks. But if Miami publicly backs JT, then Cardi might find herself in a 2-against-1 situation, sparking a feud that could consume the entire female rap scene. And what about Offset? His name keeps creeping into the conversation, even though he hasn't said a word. If JT really was connected to him in any way, whether true or just rumor, then Offset has unknowingly become the center of a scandal that pits two powerful women against each other. Fans are already asking, will he eventually speak out? Or will he stay silent and let the speculation grow? As it stands, Cardi B is playing chess while everyone else scrambles to play checkers. She's forcing JT, Offset, and even Young Miami to react on her terms, at her pace. And until someone counters her move, Cardi is in complete control of this narrative. But as history has shown us, control never lasts forever. In the chaotic world of hip-hop, one verse, one comment, one leaked piece of tea can flip everything upside down in an instant. When we step back and look at the bigger picture, this isn't just about Cardi B versus JT. It's about the future of female rap itself. Cardi has positioned herself as more than an artist. She's a cultural disruptor. With every feud, every viral moment, she reshapes the landscape. By taking shots at JT, she's not only securing her own dominance, but also testing the strength of those around her. Who's loyal, who's fake, and who's brave enough to respond? These questions will echo for weeks, maybe months, as the industry watches and waits. But let's be real. Cardi is risking something here too. Diss tracks and beefs can boost careers, but they can also backfire. If fans feel she's punching down on JT, or if the narrative shifts to make Cardi look like a bully, then the sympathy could swing toward JT. That's the danger of playing with fire. You never know when it might burn you instead. For JT, the stakes couldn't be higher. If she stays quiet, Cardi owns the story, painting her as fake and untrustworthy. But if she claps back with a track of her own, she risks going head-to-head with one of the most influential rappers of this generation. It's a lose-lose situation unless JT delivers something so powerful, so undeniable, that it flips the narrative entirely. And fans are hungry for it. They're practically begging JT to respond. Meanwhile, Young Miami's silence is deafening. Fans keep refreshing her page, waiting for a sign of loyalty. Will she defend her City Girls partner? Or will she cozy up to Cardi, seeing more opportunity there? One Instagram Live, one subtle tweet, could shift the balance of power overnight. And you know the internet. Nothing slips by unnoticed. Offset's shadow looms large over this story too. Even without saying a single word, he's being dragged back into the spotlight. Fans are questioning his past, his loyalty, his relationships. If JT ever decides to confirm or deny these rumors, Offset could find himself at the center of another messy scandal, something he's surely trying to avoid after the chaos of his divorce. And then there's the audience. You, the fans. Hip-hop has always thrived on participation. Diss tracks mean nothing without the culture debating, dissecting, and choosing sides. Already, TikTok edits, Twitter threads, and YouTube breakdowns are spreading like wildfire. Every fan theory adds fuel to the fire, keeping this beef alive far beyond the music itself. But here's the twist. What if this feud, as explosive as it seems, is just the beginning? Cardi's album Magnet is already making waves. Imagine what happens if JT drops her own response track. We'd be looking at a cultural moment on par with Shether, or even Drake versus Meek Mill. The entire industry would stop to watch and the headlines would write themselves. Still, you can't ignore one simple truth. Cardi B knows how to win. Whether you love her or hate her, she commands attention like no one else. She's turned her pain, her divorce, her struggles, and now her beef into content, music, and momentum. That's why fans call her unstoppable. And this JT situation? It's just another storm she's learning how to ride. So, where do we go from here? Will JT rise from the shadows and deliver the diss of her life? Will Young Miami pick a side? Will Offset finally break his silence? Or will Cardi's dominance remain unchallenged, solidifying her as the queen of controversy in 2025? One thing is certain, this isn't over. Far from it. This is just the beginning of a story that could define the next era of female rap. And trust me, when the next move is made, we'll be right here to break it all down for you, so stay locked in. Because the drama is only getting started.